Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Dawn DeKaiser, and we are here today with Michael Jamin. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. And Michael Jamin is a TV writer and showrunner. He has many, many credits, some of which include King of the Hill, Just Shoot Me, Beavis and Butthead, Rules of Engagement, Wilfred, Marin, Brickleberry, and many, many others. And he's currently co-EP, that means co-executive producer of Tacoma FD.
Oh,
So yeah, oh,
oh.
and so Michael has been around the block. He's been doing this for a long time. He's a professional, you guys.
Hmm.
And we've also, because you and I have been doing this for a while, we have seen how the industry has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, can you sort of talk about that and talk to your audience, which is a lot of pre-WJ writers,
Hmm.
about what the TV jobs are looking like, staffing, pitching, all of that?
I think it's easier to get hired nowadays, but maybe probably harder to make a living out of it. You have to hustle a little more. And that's
Yeah.
because when we broke in, it was a full season was like 22 or 24 episodes in a season. That was like 10 months worth of work. And today you might do a streaming show which has maybe 8 or 10 episodes. And
That's
so that
right.
could be less than half a year. And so then you have to jump, you got to find work again. It's not enough. And sometimes people, sometimes you'll be on a brand new show and you write all the episodes, and then they got to shoot it. You're out of work now. You got to shoot it, and then they got to air it, and then they got to wait until they're all aired to decide if they're going to buy more episodes, another season.
Yeah.
And you could sit on your hands and cross your fingers and hopefully they'll buy more, or you'll go look for work again. That
Yeah.
means jumping off a show that might be a hit just because you got to find work.
Yeah, that is completely different from when we started.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's it's very much a gig economy. And yeah, so I think that's a really important thing to point out. That's sort of the whole point of this summit, by the way. When I'm
Mhm.
talking about writers making money, it just over the last few years, I've had a lot of people contact me and say, well, what do I do in between? And the good news is there are so many different things writers with talent can be doing just to sort of close that gap.
Yeah.
So, aside from the business having completely changed, what is something that still applies to the industry?
Oh, well, I guess it's at the end of the day, you have to know how to write. You can't really hide from that. I think a lot of people
What?
try to hide from that.
What?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, well, that leads us right into the kind of work that you're doing is you have a course that
Yeah.
teaches people how to write. Is it specifically TV oriented or is it screenwriting, script writing?
Well, it's both. It's both. My partner and I, so we work mostly in TV, but we've also done in comedy. We've also done dark comedy. We've done a little drama, but not much. We sold a couple of movies, and so story structure is really just story. It's the same. You can write for a play or a novel. It's like, can you tell a story? It just depends on the medium that you're putting it up to. And so, yeah, that started at the beginning of the pandemic. I don't know about you, but I was like, when the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm done for. I was like, I don't see me working for 6 months at the earliest.
Yeah.
So that's when I started the course. I was like, well, I got time to do this now.
Yeah. But that's, you made the most of that downtime. I just sat there. I made t-shirts and sold them
That's good
online.
too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fine, but it was not quite as productive. as
T-shirts that say I'm screwed.
Well, they did. They said, fuck you 2020.
There
So,
you go.
yeah, they sold. So yeah, the thing that has not changed is that you got to know how to write and you got to know how
Mhm.
to do it really well.
Yeah.
And no, regardless of where you are in the industry, you need to be constantly improving your craft.
Hmm.
And speaking of craft,
And I
I'm just jumping from question to question. Please
please.
jump in.
Well, I was going to say, like, the back in the day, the writing staffs were bigger and you had more places you could hide. And now the staffs are smaller. There's less room to hide.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
I mean, the staff on Just Shoot Me at one point when you guys had consultants coming in going, how big did a room get?
I don't know. Like the first season, I think it was small. We only did 6 episodes. There might have been like 6 entities or something. It was small, but at the biggest, I don't really know. Like King of the Hill, which was animated, we had about 20 writers at one point, which is huge. But just shoot me, it was probably not much more than a dozen, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was in the bungalow next door and there was a lot of people over there. But
Oh yeah,
King of the Hill, that's what I was hearing is like, did you know you start hearing these stories of these staffs being enormous and also, cycling in and out where you'd have consultants come and go. But
yeah,
that has changed.
yeah.
That has
There's no
changed.
consultants anymore, as far as I know. You're full time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, full time for a short time.
Yeah.
So what you've done in some of your downtime is the business of michaeljamin.com.
I am the proprietor.
You're the proprietor and you're of this enterprise,
Yeah.
this industry. So you are now on social media and you are helping and informing and offering all sorts of things. Can you tell me a little bit about how you've grown this business in the last 18 months?
Well, that started as I was talking to my agent, and I had a project idea. And he's like, if you want to sell this, you need to have a social media platform, which I had none. And you're probably the same. Like we're as writers, we're behind the camera. We're better that we just we don't want to be in front of the camera. We like to comment about what the actors are doing wrong. It's just so much easier than putting yourself in front of the camera. And so to build my audience, I would just post tips about how to break into the industry, how to be a better writer, and all my perspective on working in the business. And I posted them on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And so that's at Michael Jamin Writer. I post every morning. So
so you're posting every morning. You're not doing these batch recordings where you just then.
No, I have a couple of drafts in the can for days that I just can't muster enough courage. but mostly I just do it every morning.
Wow. You have built an enormous following and I've seen the consistency in which you post. When you started that, were you posting like multiple times a day and then you?
No, it was once a day. It was that was enough. Occasionally I'll do a live,
Yeah.
but I don't have enough to talk about to do it every day. I'm like, I have a list of questions and people send me questions. I'm grateful. I'm like, oh, good, I'll answer that one. But I'm also trying not to repeat questions because I feel like I don't want to lose my loyal fans because they would bore them by answering questions they've already heard. So.
But in a way, it's like therapy. You keep going back for the same problems and you may have to hear it many times before it sticks.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably right. I should probably worry less about that.
Yeah, don't even.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen all 10,000 of your videos.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. And you've been able to build this entire business. I don't want to say that it's on the side because it's very front and center, but it's kind of remarkable considering you're also a co-EP.
Yeah.
And you and your writing partner are running shows. That's
well,
remarkable.
yeah. Right at the moment, I mean, it's also the industry's changed. So at the moment, so we have a script at Peacock. So they have the draft. They got the draft yesterday, and now we wait for notes. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get notes. Could be a week. Could be 2 weeks. And that's so right now we're just waiting.
That's the only way that I got you. I just got you in your waiting time.
Yeah, waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things, I'm not sure if you cover it in your videos, but part of the summit is about losing the ego. And the reason that I put that in the title is because I identified as a big shot TV writer for the longest time, even long after I wasn't being hired. And
did you really?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that?
I mean that there were times when I wasn't working for long stretches of time for many different reasons. And I wouldn't go and look for work like copywriting.
Oh, I see.
Because I started as a copywriter, loved that kind of work, but I just thought, oh, that's a step down, or does it take me away from the how people perceive me? I let go of all that shit. Like all of it. I just want to provide for myself and my daughter. And I think there's many of us who have had more high profile jobs. It makes it harder for us to just kind of shake that off and go.
I agree with you. I think about that. I totally agree with you. So yeah, you tell me. Maybe you should talk more about this. How did you let it go?
Um,
Just
therapy,
like what
therapy and
therapy?
medication.
I mean,
Yeah.
really?
I mean, some of it was I had moved out here and I wanted to only be a sitcom writer.
Hmm.
So when I got to do that for a long period of time, that was my identity. And it wasn't an
Hmm.
identity that always fit or felt good, but it was so personal to me that I had a really hard time letting that go.
All
And
right.
we all go through these transitions in life of becoming parents or graduating from college, all of this, and we identify our places there all along the way.
Yeah.
And I think that losing the ego, just get over yourself. And
That was part of why I really wanted. I'm writing a collection of personal essays. That's kind of why I wanted to write it. I felt like, well, when I'm not a sitcom writer, this is what I am now. I'm writing a book. I'm an author, and so that felt good to me.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. So in the course of this industry, the other part of losing your ego is not taking things personally. And that means even not taking your writing personally. Can you talk a little bit about that? And when new writers come into this with
Oh,
all of their heart?
oh yeah. A lot of times, new writers, their words are precious. Oh, my words. Um, uh, yeah, but now, like the more you get, the more experience you get. If a showrunner has notes, and they will have notes, I mean, they're going to have notes. I mean, we'll turn in a script even to like a studio. You turn it in, and they haven't even read it yet, and they'll say, "Let's set up a notes call for next Wednesday." You haven't even read it yet. You already have problems with it. That's just how it goes. So you're taking the bag of money in exchange uh, to it. You're giving them what they want. They're paying for it. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Now I'm okay with it. It's like, okay, well, you're giving me money. We were on a show. I'll tell you afterwards, but I won't tell you publicly. We were once
Okay.
on a show. I can't say, yeah, I won't say which one, but we turned the script, and the showrunner was very polite. Are you okay if I change these words? I thought, it's yours. It's yours. Do whatever you want. Yeah, it's yours. You know.
And did they
Yeah, and I was
change
okay with
every
it.
bit of,
Well,
okay.
or I'm not sure. Not every bit. I don't even know. They changed enough to, I guess, to feel self-conscious about like altering my words. I'm like, no, they're yours. I'm here to give you what you want, and if you want to make changes, knock yourself out.
Oh, I thought that story was going to go in a whole different direction where they politely said, "Do you mind if I make notes?" And then they ripped it apart and they badmouthed you around town.
Oh no,
None of that. None of
none of
that.
that.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah,
Um, yeah, no, it's the taking it personally. And this is something you and I talked about last week on your podcast. Newer writers litigating their work.
yeah.
And that is them taking it personally. It's like these are words that we're gonna spring from,
Mm,
and you're here to solve a problem. Your script is there to solve a problem, and if you can get good notes on it, you take them, you
yeah.
know.
But
Yeah.
your job is to help the showrunner create the show that they want to create. Not necessarily the best show that they want to make, not the
Yeah.
best show that you want to make.
Well, yeah, that addresses the battle cry of young writers saying, "Well,
Yeah.
I can write better than the crap that's on TV," and it doesn't work that
No.
way.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, you're being paid to write this crap, so suck it up.
um, let's see. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the tap into your talent. We kind of already covered that. Do you have words of encouragement for really talented people out there who either haven't gotten their first job or are worried about their next one?
Do I have words for it is hard, but what I've found is if you stick with it long enough, eventually at some point you will get some kind of break. If you just hang in there long enough. Now the question is, do you want to? Is it worth it to you? Is it like, because do you really want to struggle all those years? But if you do, if it's that important to you, eventually you'll get some kind of break. And then the secret then is to hang on to get as long as you can, to be prepared so that you don't, so you're not just a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's where the working on your writing itself, the
yeah,
craft of it comes in,
yeah.
which, Michael, these interviews are short. I'm keeping them laser
Oh,
focused.
I could hear myself talk for hours.
So could our audience. Um, Speaking of working on your craft, I believe that you have an offer for our
Yes.
viewers. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So this course, the screenwriting course that I started at the beginning of the pandemic. Now, fortunately, now I'm back at work, but there were 6 months there where I had nothing, but I'll make a course. And so it's online. You can learn at your own pace. And for your viewers, it's 40% off if they enter the code Dawn40.
I love that
You're
because
Dawn.
it's also almost my age.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
almost so in a couple of years, it will be your age.
That is a very generous offer. That's really great.
Yeah.
I get to promote that and tell people about it. I have yet to take your course.
You don't, you could teach your course.
Well, I mean, I'm working on my own, but I haven't locked it down yet. But
Yeah.
I do want to. I'm really interested
Mm.
in yours.
I'm sure you are a very successful, confident and skilled writers. I don't know if you. It might be
Okay,
for other people.
okay. It's for other people. It's
Yeah.
for a lot of my viewers here, and I'm totally gonna make them
Yeah.
get that at a discount, which is more than worth it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you, Michael Jamin.
Thank you for having me.
And I will give you all the information. We're going to have a lot of info in the emails that go out for the summit, Writers Making Money, and I'll be talking to you.
Good. Good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.